I'm Amin, I'm 25 years old and I work at the University Hospitals of Leicester and I'm a doctor. As well as taking a journey through the cells, we're also going to take a journey of what the cells make up, which is a human being, and how it begins its life, how it progresses through life, and what happens when things go wrong. See a doctor, they might see a nurse. So one of the tasks today, as part of our journey, we're going to explore the different professionals or people who are involved with the care of the patient, just to show you that it's actually more than just a doctor or a nurse looking after the patient. And there's a lot of the cell where we're still to completely understand. But what I'm concerned with today is, where does this planning happen? It doesn't happen randomly. You're all put together quite miraculously, quite perfectly. You're working fine. Right now, there's 500 quadrillion reactions happening in every single one of those trillion cells or so in your body. You're going to come and tell me about this patient. I don't really have time for. I have 10 minutes per patient. He's a new one. You can tell me all about him. Okay? His name is Mr. Mitchell. You've read the letter from the GP. Go outside, bring him into your clinic and ask him as many questions and get as much from him as you can.
What's the problem? But the 1st of February I had loose stools and they looked a bit red to me. I don't think it's anything, but my wife is nagging me to come and get a checkup. Okay, and how long have you had this problem? It's about 6-7 weeks now. Okay. Fit and healthy. Yeah. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong with him. The way he's sitting is fine.
Okay, fine. So what if the patient was like this? Okay, he's well. Yeah, it's working. Okay, and you just pop it there. Okay. So there's two sounds. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, do you want to feel his pulse and listen at the same time and tell me when the bum and where the burr is and where the bum is? This is maybe for the illustration. So you hear heart sounds. Do you know the two phases of the heart cycle? So when the heart pumps out, it's called, have they done this, Mr. Alfred?
This week. Yep.
It's called, yes, you're almost there. It's called systole. Okay, systole. So what happens in systole is the aortic valve opens, you have to push blood out of the heart, and the mitral tricuspid, the AV valves, close. And that's what you hear, snapping shut. That's systole. And that goes with the heartbeat, okay? Okay? And the second heart sound is when, in the second phase, which is called diastole, okay, where the aortic valve closes, and that's what you hear. Anything else in the middle, now he won't have anything, I'll double check actually, but you'll hear whooshing sounds. And if you hear whooshing and muffling sounds, that tells us the valves, there's something wrong with them. Next we want to do is we want to see if there's air getting into the lungs. Okay? So what we want to do for Mr. Mitchell, you can take a deep breath in and out through your mouth as deep as you can when we put the stethoscope onto the back of the chest, okay? Now press quite hard with the stethoscope, but it's quite a tough vest. Okay, you want to start to hear the lungs come right all the way up. Breathe, breathe. Is that you can hear the air rushing in and air rushing out. Let me know if there's any pain anywhere. And if you notice, I'm not actually looking at what my hand's doing. Where am I looking? His face, okay. I know where the organs are. I'm coming in, there's the liver, so I can actually feel the edge of the liver if I press them deeply.
He's had the symptoms.
How old is he?
65.
Okay.
He's had the symptoms.
What symptoms?
Blood in stool.
Okay.
And he hasn't had any of the symptoms like nausea. He's had them for 6 or 7 weeks. He's had the same diet, but he says that he's lost weight. He hasn't experienced any pain, but his mother had bowel cancer, and his father died of lung cancer, and his sister had a lump removed on her breast. That could have been cancer. And that's it.
Okay, fantastic. And therefore we need to visualize it. Okay, one of the tests we do is called a colonoscopy. Okay, do you know anything about a colonoscopy?
It doesn't sound fun.
Okay.
Stop any bleeding and take a biopsy of any lumps, and if there are any small lumps we can remove them. There are some risks. The procedure may fail, there may be some pain, and if we take a biopsy there may be bleeding afterwards, and the camera may also go through the bowel.
What percent chance is there of that?
It's very small,
Less than 1%.
less than 1%. Can you read this and sign if you're okay with?
Are there any other alternatives? Or?
Yes, but this is the best option. You can dye the stomach and take an X-ray, but then that only shows for large cancer.
Well, okay. Then yeah, that's all.
Is that the right place for him to sign?
No, it's not sign.
Yeah.
I'd like to bring a family member or a friend,
Okay.
and maybe 2 o'clock if you'd like that.
Okay. Okay. Fantastic. Do you want to bring in anyone else from your side? You know, you've talked about his family. Anyone else?
Maybe someone, if he has questions about it, someone who's got more knowledge.
Well, more knowledge, or somebody just there with you, because it's
Yeah.
a difficult task.
Okay.
And what I find difficult is I'm always reminded every day that the amount of things that can go wrong, it reminds me of my own mortality. I'm not going to live forever. Okay, none of you will live forever. We're just reminded that we're in this earth for a short period of time. So these emotions are going through our head as well. He's a perfectly fit and healthy guy. We've just found something potentially bad. He wants to see his grandkids grow up. Okay.
Good afternoon. Nice to meet you. I'm Josie. We've had your results back from, and we're going to say that it's not great news, and we have found out that you have bowel cancer. But we will do whatever we can to help you, and if you ever need help, you can come and see us. We'll try our best to help you through it. Have you got any questions about it you'd like to know?
What am I supposed to do now?
Are we going to leave it, or are we going to treat him?
No, we will try our best to treat you.
Okay.
Um,
Do we know it's 100% it's cancer? 100%?
I'm not sure.
We don't. We need to wait for the biopsy to come back and for the team to...
Oh, he's not had the results yet?
No, he's had the endoscopy. It looks like cancer, but it's
Okay.
not official.
Oh, okay, alright.
Okay, you can't lie to him and say, oh, don't worry, wait in 3 weeks' time. We can't do that.
Yeah, well, the chance is quite high, but there is also a chance that it might not be cancer.
How long is it going to take for me to find out?
A few weeks. We'll get back to you as soon as we can.
So in the meantime, I'm just meant to, just carry on like normal.
We can give people to talk, you can talk to, if you think that's necessary, and if we do as well.
We'll stop you there, Josie. And now, let's be honest, who wants to take Josie's place? It's very difficult, isn't it? Okay, thank you, Josie. You've done ever so well. Sorry for putting you on the spot. It's very difficult, but being a doctor, it does mean communication skills. Very good. I'm very impressed. You're more mature in your outlook than a lot of people. There was a growth there. Okay. We've taken a biopsy and we've taken the growth away. There's still a lot of it remains because it was a bit too large to take all of it. Okay. It looks like a cancerous growth. But the treatment rates for bowel cancer now are very, very high, and there's a good chance that we've caught it early, that we may be able to undergo the next stage of treatment. Okay, it's a big operation. Okay, you'll need to be asleep for the operation, and whether or not this is cancer from the biopsy results, we're going to remove it. And we can either, once we've taken out the cancer, we can either sew the bowel back up together. But sometimes that's not always possible because of healing, because we don't want the bowel to come apart again. So what we'll need to do is we'll take the section of bowel which is closest to your stomach, which carries the undigested food, and we'll attach it to the front of your abdomen. Okay, which means that the digested material will come out into the bag. You'll have to wear a bag. The rest of the part of the abdomen will be closed off. Now, that won't remain there all the time. That will allow your body a chance to heal. It is the best chance for a cure, and there's a 95% success rate. There's a 5-year survival of over 90% today.